I'm passing this one. I ain't letting this one get to me, man. I'm passing this one. We got C-SPAN Prank Calls 2020 Volume 3. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. I'm going to pass this one, all right? I know I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again.
Ray in Napa, California. Democrat. Hi, Ray. Good morning to you.
How are you?
Doing well.
I stopped watching your show about 10 years ago because I stopped paying for cable, but I just recently got it back a few months ago. And about 10 years ago, I used to sit here and I wrote down Republican, Democrat, Independent, and I sit here and mark how many people call in at a time. And right now, we're 5 Republicans to 2 Democrats and 1 Independent. And it just seems to me
Just in the last, how long?
I didn't get up until 6 o'clock in the morning because I'm in California, so I have to get up early.
So about 20 minutes.
But you're the worst one. I hate to say it. You seem to always let that Republican go on and on and on and on. The first when I first got up, the first guy from North Carolina, on and on and on about he don't know shit. Excuse my friend, but I mean it's always more Republicans than Democrats. It's
Ray,
very, very rare.
Ray,
very rare.
Ray, glad you're watching. Get up earlier and watch the show in its entirety, the whole 3 hours. Whoever is calling in, we try to do Democrat, Independent, Republican, try to do it in that order, but we can't control who calls in.
Let's go to Garland,
That's a banger.
Texas, Republican. It's Hank for Sean Trendy of Real Clear Politics. Good morning to you, Hank.
Well, howdy, C-SPAN. Thank you for taking the call.
You're welcome.
I just got to make one thing clear. I'm actually calling from Arlen, Texas, not Garland, Texas. But with that being said, I think healthcare is going to be...
Yo, why does he sound like Hank Hill? He's already kind of made me start to laugh a little bit. He sounds like Hank Hill. I'm waiting for this guy to say propane.
...be a very important issue this year. And I say that as a conservative Republican. See, I went to the doctor recently, and I was slapped with a bill of $1,488. And that was just for a simple procedure. I had to have some propane removed from my narrow urethra. So far, I've paid about 13% of the bill. Next month, I plan to pay off at least 50% of it. But the point here is that I'm struggling to get by due to these expenses. I still have to take my boy to the hospital because the neighbor's daughter gave him that yellow fever. Boy just ain't been right after that. Speaking of which, my neighbors came here legally from Laos, and I kind of wish they hadn't. Personally, I think President Trump should implement a total ban on immigration altogether. Might solve some problems in this country.
Caller Hank there, Sean Trendy, brought up a couple of different points.
Yeah, I had no idea that was actually, like, the caller's name was Hank. It totally, like, just, I was completely oblivious to the name, and I would have gave it away from me. But, like, because I was like, this guy sounds like Hank Hill. That was a pretty good impression, but that nearly got me.
I think someone's been watching King of the Hill.
Kevin in North Carolina, Independent Line. Good morning. Go ahead.
Good morning. I think this idea is a bit excessive, actually. I think we just let people work again. And if I had it my way, I would just like a new update for Animal Crossing New Horizons on the Nintendo Switch.
Dave in Ohio types of face mask for coronavirus, face mask comparisons, how to make a no-soap face mask, and so on. Again, the website is WebMD, coronavirus face mask, what you should know. If you want to type that into your search engine and find that piece for yourself. Richard in Maryland. Hello.
Yeah, that's like the most, just to point out, his little, like, suit, I guess, handkerchief looks so sloppy, man. That's sloppy, bro.
Hi, I would just like to thank you for taking my call, number one. Number two, you should go fuck yourself.
Also from Maryland, a story from the Wall Street Journal this morning.
And children are easily scared, and that's why they're going after the kids. Now, there are things we can do. Planting trees in empty lots is a good idea. And along the freeways, the trees that aren't, like, have acorns or shit that's going to go all over. I'm sorry.
Sandy, I'm going to leave it at that point. We're going to take a break.
Robert's on the line now from Waddy, Kentucky.
Sandy.
Robert, what's the situation in your area?
We good here. We just ain't got many cases and everything, but I just want to tell y'all something. Listen, all this stuff about Trump and all that stuff he's doing, all this, why don't they say anything about these people that's out here protesting and everything, not wearing masks, standing against each other. You don't never hear the media say nothing about that. I don't understand this. I just don't understand what's going on. Why don't the media say something about that? It ain't President Trump doing all he can do. These Democrats and everything fighting and everything on television and all that stuff. The only thing we're going to do.
I can't break. I can't. He's making me break. He's about to make me break, bro. He sounds like, what's his face from Fairly Odd Parents? Doug Dimmadome to Disdale Dibbadome. That's what he sound like, bro. He like,
What I can say, get rid of all them bastards and start over, and then we'll have a good country.
All right.
Let's see if we can get one more call, and we'll go to Monty. Monty,
he's
are
probably
you there?
dead ass serious too.
There I am. Howdy there.
That's the scary part.
Monty, go ahead. You're on the air.
Howdy. I just want to apologize first and foremost for all the morons on the calls earlier, especially from Alabama and all that. Secondly, I just want to say impeach the fucker. Have a great day.
Thanks, Monty. In Florida, that's it for phone calls right now.
Chuck is in Leesburg, Virginia, on our independent line. Chuck, you're on the Washington Journal. What's your view?
My view is this. Obviously, this was a story the media was. This was like a prime. I bet you when the media.
His voice is already making me kind of chuckle.
Heard this, saw this, they went all over it. But let's be realistic here. Ahmed had a racial factor. Obviously, when you have a device that looks like a bomb and you have a Muslim child, that is a recipe for disaster, quite frankly. And I think President Obama handled it very professionally by inviting him to the White House. And also, Mark Zuckerberg has even invited this child to Facebook, and I think he's even got, I've read somewhere about an internship with Twitter. So I feel like many people are realizing that technologically this young child is very talented in the field of science. I agree with all the previous callers as well. Donald Trump's comments were absolutely... The comments made to Donald Trump were ferocious, and Donald Trump's lack to correct the speaker or whoever was talking to him was just plain sickening. And that's all I just want to say. Everyone have a good time. And 9/11 was an inside job. Howard Stern ruled.
Another text message.
Every time something happens, they blame it on Obama. Obama's not in the White House. The Democrats and the Republicans need to get their shit together.
He's like, that's what he did.
He's calling from Robertsville, Missouri on the independent line.
One more call, John.
Yo, why does he look like Bishop T.D. Jakes, bro? What is Bishop T.D. Jakes doing up there, man?
Let's go to Steve, who's calling from Robert.
Wake up! Wake up!
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake
up! Wake up! Wake up!
Robertsville, Missouri on the independent line.
One more call. Johnny is in Mountainville, New Jersey. Democrat.
Laugh.
Go ahead.
How you guys doing today?
Well, go ahead.
I was just curious, is it really, I am a Democrat and I do not support Trump to the fullest, just to be honest, but I don't really find it morally right, or I understand it's, might be tradition to show the tax return, but I really don't feel it's completely necessary, and you could go fuck yourself.
Apologize for that. We'll move on.
From Alabama and Coleman, we'll hear from Robin, who is undecided. Hello.
Thank you, Pedro, for having me on and letting me speak. I have a couple of points. My top issue is education. Education for my
Education.
grandkid. I want my kids to be educated. On who should be president, I don't know. Trump dropped the ball on the pandemic. I think his vanity got the best of him. Biden, I don't know. I don't think you can trust anybody in government. I think it's the government against the American people. What about the other 435 cocksuckers in there? You got to worry
We'll
about
go to Cal in Cooksville,
Yo, he kind of spitting facts though. I ain't gonna lie.
Tennessee, supporter of President Trump.
You got 435 people representing 320 million. Doesn't that seem a little queer to you?
Okay. Understood. Oliver in Dublin, Texas. Larry.
Robert, good morning. You're on the Washington Journal.
Yes, good morning. I think Howard Stern should run for...
We'll go on to George is next. I'm sorry, Daniel's next out of Louisiana. Good morning. Independent.
Good morning.
Go ahead, Daniel.
My question is, which nobody wants to talk about, is a thing called geoengineering, chemtrails, climate engineering, weather warfare.
So, Daniel, we're talking about the top news story of this week. Has there been a development on that front this week?
Well, this should be the top news story of the week. That's what I'm saying. Nobody, it's like the biggest story that nobody's talking about.
All right. Well, we'll stick to the news headlines. There's been a lot in the papers and a lot we've covered.
Okay. Amir in Sun Valley, California. Amir.
Yes, hello. Good morning, and I know I don't have too much time. I just want to go ahead and be brief. Insofar as the happenings that are happening with the police brutality, George Floyd's death was unfortunate for sure. However, you know, what we have to really understand is that there's a bigger play happening here. When you have, for example, an election coming up, sometimes the media wants to throw out some kind of a bias. They want to throw out chaos, and they want to try to divide the people. What do I mean by that? Like, I myself grew up in the hood, as they call it. When I was had my shaved head, wearing my Lokes, of course I'd get pulled over and they'd pull me out in a felony stop. So I've been in situations where I've seen people die. We have every opportunity to succeed, and when we don't apply ourselves, what do we expect? We're in a capitalist society. When you look at what Antifa and what Black Lives Matter, what they're all
I like how she's just so ready to just like end the call like right away.
about. They're all about communism, socialism, causing the divide, pushing the homosexual agenda, which is...
Okay, I'm going to leave it there, Amir. John, Pounding Hill, Virginia.
There is a young white girl at the University of Maryland, my alma mater, who was photographed in front of a cake. And the cake says the words, suck a nigga dick. That is a very strange phrase. Where does it come from? Lil Wayne.
Suck a nigga dick for an iPhone 6. Fuck my nigga Terry for a new Blackberry.
Oh, man. This was a good compilation, honestly. Like, most of these were really funny. I think the one guy who called in sounding like Hank Hill was really funny. Cause you know, I didn't realize the guy's name was Hank, and I didn't even put two and two together. Like, oh, this guy sounds like Hank Hill. His name's Hank. He's just impersonating Hank Hill. And I was like, yo, because he's talking about like propane and shit. I was like, what? I was waiting for him to say like Bobby or something or whatever. But then there's another guy that sounded like Doug Dimmadome and Denzel Dimmadome. I'm pretty sure that wasn't his intention to sound like that person. That's just how he talks. But that was a funny one too. But most of these were really good. If you guys happen to break, let me know. Your boy passed, so this is a challenge that's in the books, people. I'm on my streak. I'm on it. I'm back on the horse, okay? So if you guys happen to lose this challenge, make sure you post where you lost at. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. Peace!